What if the internet went down for exactly an hour every day at a random time? Not maintenance at 3 a.m. Random, like a cosmic joke. One minute you're buying a ticket, the next the page freezes and your credit card is halfway to its destination. Video calls drop for a moment. An hour later, everything returns. No apology, no explanation. The first week is denial disguised as troubleshooting. People refresh browsers aggressively, as if rage improves throughput. IT departments reboot things that were never connected to anything. Someone unplugs a router, waits respectfully, and plugs it back in like a ritual offering. Influencers stare into dead timelines and discover they have no secondary personality. The worst part is not being offline. It's not knowing when you'll be offline. You can't prepare for randomness. You can only live in a constant state of pre-disappointment. People start checking the internet to see whether the internet is gone, which is like checking your pulse with a hammer. Offices invent new emergency phrases: save it now, screenshot everything, and if it's important, print it. If the outage happened at the same time every day, humans would adapt, schedules would harden, the offline hour would become internet siesta. But randomness turns it into psychological warfare. Meetings freeze mid-sentence. Remote interviews stop right as someone says, "So, tell me about yourself." Online exams collapse mid-question, which is a great way to discover how much education is just Wi-Fi with deadlines. Even worse, the outage punishes timing, not behavior. The most responsible person can lose everything because they happen to click submit at the wrong second. The world starts behaving like it's constantly walking under a piano dangling from a rope. You're not afraid of the piano. You're afraid of the randomness of gravity. Then the infrastructure problems arrive, because modern systems don't just use the internet for entertainment. They use it for confirmation. Payments hang in limbo. Did the money move, or did it evaporate into the digital void? Delivery drivers lose navigation. Factories lose cloud dashboards and suddenly rediscover the ancient art of looking at a machine and guessing. Customer support becomes performance art. Please hold. The internet is currently not being internet. Entire call centers switch to paper forms, which is like replacing a jet engine with a bicycle and pretending it's a feature. The internet hour becomes an hour of doubt, where every system is forced to answer the question, what are you, without connectivity? Financial markets react first, because finance is just speed plus confidence. High-frequency trading collapses instantly. Algorithms hate uncertainty, the way cats hate baths. Crypto becomes Schrödinger's asset, simultaneously valuable and inaccessible. Banks post signs saying, "Come back in 1 hour," which sounds harmless until you realize the hour is random, so you might come back into another hour. The big loss isn't money, it's trust. Businesses can survive slow processes. They struggle with unknown states. When you can't verify whether a transaction completed, every purchase becomes a philosophical debate. The outage hour doesn't destroy capitalism. It turns it into a confused person repeatedly asking, "Are we sure that happened?" Healthcare gets weird fast. Doctors rely on online records, prescription systems, cloud imaging, and databases of "please don't accidentally kill someone." When the outage hits during a procedure, the room goes quiet in a way that makes everyone suddenly remember medicine existed before Wi-Fi. Hospitals start caching critical data locally, like it's 1999. Emergency protocols return, printed checklists, offline drug references, and a very nervous pharmacist with a binder. Telemedicine collapses for 1 hour a day, which sounds minor until you realize that random means it might vanish exactly when someone needs it most. The outage hour becomes the world's most irritating reminder. Convenience is not the same as resilience. Logistics companies panic, then adapt. Routing software dies mid-route. Warehouses lose live inventory updates and must rediscover counting. Airlines, shipping ports, and delivery networks begin building offline islands, localized systems that can run for at least 1 hour without cloud dependency. Paper maps return, not because they're better, but because they don't disappear randomly. A new job appears: offline coordinator, a person whose entire purpose is to maintain operations during the daily void. It's like hiring someone to babysit reality. Ironically, the outage hour becomes a giant evolutionary pressure that forces the modern world to rebuild the boring parts of reliability. During the offline hour, people look up from screens. At first, accidentally, like a startled animal. Then suspiciously, like they suspect real life is a scam. Restaurants become loud again. Strangers talk. Someone asks, "What do you do?" and means it. Couples rediscover that they can be bored together without immediately outsourcing boredom to video platforms. A small cultural movement appears: the hour, a daily mini holiday where people claim they feel weirdly peaceful, which is a strange way to admit you were addicted to notifications. The outage hour doesn't just remove content, it removes the audience. And without an audience, humans behave differently. Criminals try to exploit the outage hour. For 1 hour, cameras can't upload, systems can't verify, accounts can't confirm. It sounds like a paradise for bad decisions, until criminals realize they also lose coordination. Your heist group can't message each other because the group chat is gone. You can't look up how to pick a lock because the tutorial is offline. The result is a temporary golden age of extremely incompetence. incompetent crime. People attempt sophisticated digital fraud using paper. Someone tries to rob a store and forgets the store is also offline, so the registers don't work, and everyone just awkwardly waits. The outage hour becomes the universe saying, you may do chaos, but you will do it manually. After a few months, the world does the sensible thing. It redesigns. Apps add offline mode that actually works. Critical services duplicate. Hospitals, banks, and logistics systems create local caches, fallback authentication, and delayed synchronization. A new engineering field becomes fashionable: resilience design, which is a fancy term for build it so it doesn't cry when Wi-Fi sneezes. The funniest part is that most solutions already existed. People just didn't bother because permanent connectivity felt guaranteed. The outage hour forces the internet era to mature. Suddenly, the most respected engineer is the person who can say, yes, it works even when everything breaks. Then comes the twist. Some people start enjoying the outage hour. Not everyone. Some still panic like it's oxygen. But a growing group treats it as a daily pause. They schedule walks, workouts, cooking, reading, or just sitting with the horrifying realization that their brain can exist without scrolling. A phrase enters language. Let's do it before the internet returns. It's spoken with the seriousness of before winter. The outage hour turns from catastrophe to ritual. A small, weirdly wholesome habit emerges. Humans become better at finishing thoughts. It's not that the internet becomes less important. It's that people remember they are not extensions of it. After a year, the world is different, not destroyed. Different. The economy has scars, but also upgrades. Systems are more robust. People keep paper backups for important things. Critical infrastructure is less fragile. Offline first stops being a hip phrase and becomes common sense. The internet is still powerful, still addictive, still central, but it loses one thing: the illusion of permanence. That random hour teaches a blunt lesson every day. Your life should not fail because a signal disappeared. And maybe that was the point. Maybe the universe wasn't punishing humanity. Maybe it was installing a feature, a daily reminder that you can still be a person when nobody can see you.